In his article, Compliance Can't Wait, 3 Steps for Better Quality Leadership, which ran in Wednesday's issue of Quality Digest Daily, Tim Lozier, Director of Product Strategy for traqpath, delves into these issues and explains how great leaders help leverage information to improve quality. Even better, he's with us now via Skype to give us some further insights on this topic. So Tim, welcome back to Quality Digest Live.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing well, yeah. Tim's been on the show a few times, and we're always happy to have him with us. So, Tim, let's start off with the title of your piece: 3 Steps for Better Quality Leadership. So, what are those 3, and why are they so important?
Oh, so you want me to give it away right away?
Sure.
Okay.
Dive right in, man.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd like you'll have to wait for the webinar to see the deep dive on it, but I'll give you this. You know, when we start looking at the ISO 9000 2015 standard, you know, a lot of it focuses around leadership, or a lot of it focuses around having more people in a culture of quality. And so, when you start to think about it, what is
Did we lose Tim?
Well, we may have lost Tim there for a little bit.
We may have lost Tim. Well, I think what he was saying was that culture of quality is so important. Oh, we got him. Tim, are you there?
I'm still here.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
we lost you in the middle. So pick right back up if you would.
So, you know, briefly, you know, one of the things to create this culture of quality is around really having centralization of your information. So, you know, a lot of times we find ourselves collecting information from multiple areas, and so one of the areas is to the benefits of having it all in one place is you get that visibility into the multiple facets of that information. And that's all fine and good, but that brings me to my second point, is that you really want to be able to have people go back into it frequently and use the data effectively. And how do you do that? A lot of it centers around reminders, being able to pull you back into the system and go back and be able to get in. We all thrive on reminders, and I think that's the biggest thing to change a culture, is that if you can't voluntarily do it, have something that reminds you to go back in. But I think the last part, and the most important part, is by having that centralization, by being able to pop in and out frequently to update information. You have a lot of data, and when you start to look at that data, it's not enough to just say, okay, well, we have all this data. It's really important. How do you interpret that data, and how do you take that data and create more visibility into areas of improvement, and how do you make that available to the entire company or all the stakeholders who are involved in the quality processes?
Well, you talked about data. I think data is a good place to continue this, because it's really the question, the struggle, especially for really large multinational companies, organizations around the world who have so much data. It's just insane how much data they have to measure and crunch. But what would you say to a leader of a small organization where they say, well, heck, you know, we get along just fine with email and spreadsheets?
Well, you know, I'll say email and spreadsheets are fine until something happens, and then it isn't fine. You know, I think that becomes the issue, and you know, really, what you're seeing is that with the idea of email and spreadsheets, it becomes disparate. It becomes almost like pieces of a puzzle that aren't put together, and I think what's happening is that, you know, are you looking for just fine in your organization? Are you actually looking for real improvement? And I think just fine is kind of a status quo way to look at things. But if you take all those pieces that are somewhat disparate and you put them together, you actually have a true picture. It's like just like a puzzle, right? You have all the different pieces, but when you put that puzzle together, you can look at the data a little bit differently. You can look at things a little differently. You can make better decisions. You know, and really, I mean, email is a nice tool, but it's not an effective tool for quality. And so you want to make sure that you are capturing all these, what I like to call conversations of quality, that are happening throughout the whole process. And having a centralized system that collects all that data really creates that true picture, not just the puzzle pieces.
What would you say to a CEO who looks at quality as basically a tactical enterprise, or even worse, you know, a cost center that needs containment more than anything else? Yeah,
you know, there's two things that are at play here, and then there's two things that tend to get in the way, right? So one is having that true picture, with everything available to you. And it's one thing to be able to take all that data and interpret it right. But the second part of that is really around how do you speak to the concepts that a CEO might really resonate with. Being able to pull the data, pull reports is one part of it, and that's important. But being able to take that data and translate it into a language, if you will, that a CEO or a C-level is going to speak, really becomes the issue. They may not speak quality, but they may speak on bottom line numbers. They may speak on risk mitigation. They may look at overall cost of quality. And I think having more information at your fingertips, the ability to take more data, take more information, and translate it to the right way is really what's going to change that culture, change that dynamic.
Well, Tim, we're going to leave it off there because we have a webinar, as you alluded to, that we're doing with you. Dirk and you are doing together on Tuesday, the 26th. What are companies doing to promote a culture of quality management? You can see it up there on the screen now. That's this coming Tuesday, the 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And Tim, you'll be joining us then. We'll look forward to talking to you then about this topic. And of course, we encourage everybody in our audience now to sign up for that webinar now and check it out. So Tim, again, thanks for joining us today. And we'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Tim. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.